Welcome to the morning report for the J-Spot, the place where we stimulate the most sensitive area of your brain before your first coffee cup.
And honestly, my brain is probably still vibrating from the weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
We have to take a second. A massive shout out to Bad Bunny and the entire team behind that Super Bowl halftime performance.
Absolutely, making history on the global stage. And, speaking of making history, that's exactly where we're centering today's deep dive.
Okay.
We're looking at how the U.S. is navigating Black History Month in 2026.
And navigating is exactly the right word for it.
It really is.
Because this isn't just another February. This year is the Centennial.
100 years.
It's been exactly 100 years since Dr. Carter G. Woodson founded Negro History Week back in 1926 through ASLH.
The Association for the Study of African American Life and History. Basically the blueprint for the months we have now.
The blueprint. So the official theme this year is a century of Black history commemorations. And ASLH's president, Dr. Carsonia Wise Whitehead, she framed it really powerfully. She said, Black History Month belongs to us. We celebrate because we see ourselves.
But, based on the sources we pulled, that idea of seeing ourselves is becoming a huge point of contention.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask, the definition of what this month should look like is being, heavily litigated this year.
It's a really sharp divide. So you've got the White House on one side.
Right.
They issued a proclamation, I think it was February 3rd, that frames the entire month within the upcoming 250th year of American independence.
Okay, so the core argument there is that Black history isn't something separate from the broader American story.
Exactly. And this connects directly to that National Garden of American Heroes initiative.
Right, focusing on unifying figures like Jackie Robinson, Booker T. Washington.
Yes, and the proclamation explicitly criticizes what the president calls progressive movements for, quote, dividing citizens.
Which you can imagine sparked a huge counter-movement.
An immediate one. You have leaders like Hakeem Jeffries, you have educators, all arguing that this so-called unifying approach is really just sanitizing the records.
Sanitizing history. Dr. Whitehead even said, we're basically at war to preserve the truth.
And you can see that war playing out in the schools.
Yeah, we looked at the San Diego Unified School District, and they are moving in the complete opposite direction of the White House.
Oh, not even close. They are not sticking to the safe, I have a dream narratives.
Not at all.
They're implementing modules on things like queering Black history, which means highlighting Bayard Rustin's role.
And centering Black joy.
Okay.
It's a much more specific, I'd say granular look at the history than the broad strokes from Washington.
Right.
So you have this whole ideological battle over the narrative. But the thing that really stood out to me in the research
What was it?
is that while the politicians are fighting over the past, the economic reality is shifting toward ownership of the future.
Ah, that was the standout. The U.S. Black Chambers, Inc.
Yeah. Exactly. The USBC. While all these debates are happening on Capitol Hill, they made a massive, tangible move.
And they bought the former BT campus.
They bought the campus.
Yeah.
And are turning it into the USBC Innovation Campus.
A literal Black business incubator.
It just feels like a crucial evolution. I mean, we're moving from asking for representation in media to actually owning the infrastructure where the business happens.
It turns the celebration into actual equity. And we're seeing that same kind of resilience on a local level, too.
Like in Pasadena.
Yeah, look at Pasadena. After that big Eaton fire destroyed so many classic cars, they had to cancel the Black History Parade again.
Which is such a heavy blow for a community tradition.
It is, but they pivoted. They brought back the festival, but they focused it specifically on community healing instead of just the pageantry.
That mirrors what we're seeing culturally, too, right? Like the USPS issuing the Phyllis Wheatley stamp.
Honoring the first person of African descent to publish a book in the colonies.
And PBS just dropped Fight the Power, How Hip-Hop Changed the World. The cultural output is still so strong.
And that's really the synthesis here. You have this polarization at the top trying to define what history should be.
Mm-hmm.
But on the ground, whether it's the USDC buying real estate or Pasadena rebuilding after a fire, you have this push for real independence, for permanence.
It raises a huge question. Carter G. Woodson started this whole thing 100 years ago to prove Black people contributed to civilization.
A foundational argument he had to make.
And today, we're buying major media campuses and fighting over complex curriculum. So what does the next century look like?
That is the question. Does it even need to be a month anymore? Or are we moving toward a permanent infrastructure where the history is simply integrated and owned?
Something to think about. The J-Spot is a J. Breyer Allen production, edited by Josette Garcia.